And
So you oh,
okay,
and
sorry about that part. I just didn't want to have, yeah.
got the recording, and so therefore I will silence all.
Air Buddy.
Okay.
So this is from Hafiz. It's called Removing the Shoe from the Temple. He says, once someone asked me, why do saints seek divine annihilation and are often humble and like to spend their free time on their knees? I replied, it's simply a matter of etiquette. And then they said, well, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, when one goes into the temple, is it not common to remove what covers your feet? So too does it happen with this whole mind and body. That is something like a shoe sole. When one begins to realize upon whom you are really standing, one begins to remove the shoe from the temple. So one way of looking at the process that we're going through here with meditation is not simply to get better at meditating, but to begin to remove all the defenses that we've accumulated over the years in order to protect ourselves as we begin to realize more and more that everything around us is sacred. As Hafiz says somewhere else, now is the time for you to compute the impossibility that nothing exists except grace. And so as we begin to settle into that reconnection with our true selves, which we're going to talk more about today, as we quit identifying with the mind, as we quit identifying with the body, as we quit identifying with our emotions, and we begin to see that field of awareness that encompasses our thoughts and our feelings, and that was the meditation last week. Do you have that handy to pull up? That no,
No,
no, okay.
you're reading or
No, the uh, image
oh no.
of meditation.
I mean, I can do it if you.
So the more we do that, we begin to realize that everything that we're looking for, the peace we're looking for, the joy we're looking for, the sense of belonging that we're looking for, is within us. It's a place in our nervous systems that when we get there begins to um, let us feel more at home in the world. Again, that feeling of belonging. You're never going to get a engraved invitation from life that says you now belong. You are an official member of the human race. Feel free to move about freely. That's not going to come. And the idea of claiming it often gets us into things like entitlement. This
Isn't
idea
that what the geezer card is?
a geezer card entitles you to drive around with
Sorry.
your blinker on and in two lanes of traffic at the same time. But it did not entitle you to move out. No, not yet, anyway. So we today are going to explore this sense of being in place. So pull up the thing. Now I've talked some about what happened when the Buddha sits down under the Bo tree and says, I'm not moving from here until I'm enlightened. And as soon as he did that,
I'm going to show them.
immediately he was assailed by all kinds of demons. And the chief demon was Mara, the tempter, who says, what entitles you to claim enlightenment? Why are you worthy? And the Buddha doesn't answer. The Buddha simply touches the earth with his fingertips, and the earth rises up in the form of a female cobra and says, this is my son. Now, this is the same moment as Jesus going to the river to be baptized. He doesn't claim his right to teach. When they ask him, by what authority you teach, he never answers them. He simply says, when you've seen me, you've seen the Father. So what he's saying is that when I was baptized, the heavens opened up and a dove descended and said, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. Well, when we sit in meditation, we take the one seat like the Buddha is doing. You notice he has an aura of protection around him. And when the arrows that the people who are assailing him hit that aura, it turned into flowers. Okay? And what that means is we have the capacity when we're sitting in this place and we know our own worthiness to see those attacks as compliments. That if I weren't worthy, people who are unworthy wouldn't feel the necessity to attack me. Notice that the people who are genuinely loving, caring, peaceful people never attack other loving, caring people. The only people who do that are people who have sick souls. And so in this time where we live in a society where people feel entitled to attack you just because they don't like the way you breathe or whatever, it's very important for us to have that sense of being in place and being worthy. Now, let's go a little further into how we do this. This again is taken from Michael Singer's book. And this is what happens when we begin to let go of identification with our thoughts and with our feelings and begin to sit in a place where this is not just a picture we're looking at, but a reminder of a reality that we've experienced at times. It could be sitting on a mountainside looking at a sunrise, and all of a sudden you feel in oneness with life. You feel peaceful, you feel joyful, you feel worthy. It's not a question at that moment. Or when you're hugging your beloved and you're in that feeling of connection and oneness, again, no sense of needing to deserve it, but also a sense of fulfillment, that I don't need anything else. All my needs are answered in the moment that I come to this place where we see the Buddha right now, the place we achieve when we sit with what we call witness consciousness. I'm aware of being aware. I'm aware of my thoughts and feelings. I'm not caught up in them. I'm aware of my body. I'm not caught up in the physical sensations. And I'm open. Things are going on around me, yet I stay open and I stay present. What differentiates a conscious centered being from a person who is not so conscious is simply the focus of their awareness. There's not a difference in the consciousness itself. All consciousness is the same. Just as all light from the sun is the same, all awareness is the same. Consciousness is neither pure nor impure. It has no qualities. It's just there, aware that it's aware. The difference is that when your consciousness is not centered within, it becomes totally focused on the objects of consciousness. When you're a centered being, however, your consciousness is always aware of being conscious. Your awareness of being is independent of the inner and outer objects you happen to be aware of. Like I said last week.
Say that again.
Okay. There's not two separate consciousnesses. There's not the consciousness I'm aware of the external world and the consciousness I'm aware of the internal world. It's the same consciousness. It's the same awareness. So when we settle in, we become skilled at watching the inner world unfold, and Buddhists meditate with their eyes open. So we begin to see that this field of awareness, I don't have to shift. Now I'm aware of this. Now I've got to shift consciousness and be aware of my inner world. There's a free flow back and forth, like being inside and outside the house. Same awareness. Okay? If you really want to understand this difference, you must begin by realizing that consciousness can focus on anything. That being said, what if consciousness were to focus on itself? What happens when instead of being aware of your thoughts, you're aware that you're aware of your thoughts? You're aware that you're aware of your thoughts. You have turned that light of consciousness back on itself. You're always contemplating something, but this time you're contemplating the source of consciousness. And this is true meditation. True meditation is beyond the act of simple one-pointed concentration. And this is where we move from single pointed awareness to
Open awareness.
open awareness
dhyana.
or mindfulness, dhyana, where everything simultaneously, no specific focus at all. So the single-mindedness gets us so that we're in this present moment and can hold our seat as we open up and don't get distracted by everything that we're viewing. So first we come to the discipline of sitting, then we expand. For the deepest meditation, you must not only have the ability to focus your consciousness completely on one object, you must also have the ability to make awareness itself be that object. In this state, the focus of consciousness is turned back on the self. Now, again, we use the same word for the problem and the solution. That's what's so confusing, because meditators will say the highest vocation is awareness of self, but it's always a capital S. It's never the little s. So it doesn't say, this is where the West looked at it and got confused and said, oh, it's just a bunch of navel gazing. Nothing could be further from the truth. Because as Emerson said, the capital S self is identical with God. When you hit that awareness that is aware of itself with a capital S, you are in God consciousness. Okay? That is what the ancients meant by God, that's the source of peace, that's the source of light, that's the source of love, the source of joy, is this awareness. So that contemplation of this awareness, which encompasses everything we experience is encompassed in that God consciousness. That's the highest vocation, not analyzing what's emerging. As a matter of fact, what Hafiz is trying to say is that once I become conscious that I am in sacred reality, when I'm aware, I begin to let go of the shoes, which are what the thoughts, the feelings, the bodily tensions are all things that I've used to protect myself from getting hurt when I was young, until I could get to the point where I could shield myself, what we call a prayer shield or a God shield, or shielding with your aura, that sense of protection and open. So if you look at him, here is a state fully vulnerable, fully present, mind open, heart open, body soft, vulnerable, yet protected. And what protects us is that awareness. Okay? And that's what they mean. Compute the impossibility that there's nothing but this God consciousness. No matter what it looks like it's a demon about to talk to me, to tear me apart. I can't be torn apart from this reality because I am this reality. I may change form. I may look totally different. I may become aware in a totally different body, totally different time, but the awareness will be the same awareness. That's what reincarnation is, that thread of awareness that runs through all sentient beings, all awareness. We're all participating in the same consciousness. It's not your God consciousness, my God consciousness. It's God consciousness. So imagine a big placenta, and we all got umbilical cords, and our individual awareness are plugged into that giant placenta of awareness. Okay? So again, these are just going to be words till you're in the experience. So let's begin our meditation.
Do you want me to remove the...
To remove the screen? Sure. We could start
Maybe I can.
putting Nadi's picture up, and we could meditate on the true Buddha.
Okay.
So,
You will pay for that one day.
thank you, Mistress Ajna. So, find a comfortable position. The first gong calling us to the present moment. Second gong catching us because we've already slipped away. Third gong, an invitation to stay here. Using your breath to begin to anchor you in the body. Not only feeling the sensations at the nostrils, but feeling the sensations up in the sinuses, drawing your awareness to the brow center. Following the awareness down to the throat, awakening the throat chakra. Stimulating the vagus nerve. Inviting us to let go of fight or flight. To let go of withdrawal. Following the breath down into the heart. As you breathe, letting the breath create space around the heart. As you exhale, allow whatever you're holding on your heart to flow into your awareness. Any sadness, fear, anger, shame, guilt. Anything that burdens and constricts the heart, take the shoes off. Just let them go. Letting the breath move down into the abdomen, the in-breath, softening the belly, the side body, the back body. Feeling the breath all the way down to the perineum. Feeling your sits bones. Your legs. activating your root chakra. Establishing this first chakra is absolutely essential. Your connection to the earth. Earth energy is grounding, it's nourishing, it's stabilizing and heavy. We try to root in relationships and ideas, and that will never work. It wasn't an accident that the Buddha sat under a tree. He wanted to grow roots. He allowed himself to settle in, and the earth affirmed him, supported him, nourished and protected him. So feel the pull of gravity. This is love. It's no different than your attraction to a sunset. It's the earth drawing you towards herself, saying, come, rest in me. Don't hold yourself apart. Come rest in my arms. What Jesus meant, come to me, all ye who travail and are heavy laden, for I will refresh you. And feel that earth energy coming up through your legs, your roots, up through the perineum, feeling the pull of the earth, drawing your roots down, deep in the earth. Just like sumo wrestlers. Feel that sense of homeness, that sense of belonging, that feeling of stability. Begins to pervade your being. And as you breathe in, repeat the words, I am safe. And as you exhale, I am protected. I am safe. And I am protected. Settling into the flow of those words, the flow of energy between you and the earth. Drawing up her energy and releasing all the shaming energy from other people that you carry, all the guilt, all their fear-inducing comments, Everything that's heavy, just naturally let it collapse into the earth, back to the source. Drawing in fresh, stabilizing, nourishing, warm earth energies. I am safe. I am protected. Feeling yourself sinking more deeply into the earth. Feeling the heavy energies you carry releasing. Lightening the burden on your heart with every breath. I'm safe and I'm protected. Drawing that energy up now into second chakra, the lower dantian. The seat of relationships. And letting go of relationships as possessions. We don't have lovers. We don't have children. We don't have parents. And settle into the flow of reciprocity. Like the moon, I draw in all the energy of the sun. I give it all back, keeping nothing for myself. Breathing in and feeling that connection with the earth, connection with all of life. And like a hug, are you the giver or the receiver? You're both. No scorekeeping, no resentments. Just rooted in this place with an infinite source of energy. Feeling the flow of energy between me and the world. Feeling the simple delight of participating in that loving exchange of energy. Repeating the words, I am loved. Therefore, I am lovable. And I'm loving. I am loved. And I'm loving. Feeling that loving dance of energy, rooted not in an idea or an emotion, but rooted in the very ground of your connection with life, so full of that energy that you can't help but give it away and be grateful to the receiver for appreciating what you give. I'm loving. I am loved. And feel that energy move up the third chakra, the solar plexus, the upper dantian, the seat of your self-esteem, your worthiness. I'm rooted in the earth. I'm loved and loving. I need feel no shame for my taking or for the gifts I give. Consider a tree that doesn't ask for permission to drink water, to take nutrients, to drink the sunlight or the carbon dioxide. She simply takes what she needs to survive, no more, no less. And her gift back to life is who she is, not intending to give shade, not intending to create walnuts, not intending to provide wood for housing or a home for squirrels. Simply, unapologetically present. I'm worthy just as I am. Nothing to prove, nothing to add, nothing to subtract. Now drawing that energy up into the heart. Feel it kindling your heart light. Beginning to feel the light of joy, the light of love, light of curiosity, the desire to create, to live expansively and fully. And as you breathe in, I am aware, bringing awareness into the heart. And exhaling, and I open my heart to the world. I am aware. And I open my heart to the world. Rooted in the earth, feeling safe and protected. Fully receiving and giving the energies of life. Feeling worthy, just as you are. Fully present and awake in this moment. opening your heart to the world. What do you just point to? So, questions, comments?
Here I go, raising my hand again. It was beautiful. um, yeah, can we do it every week?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because one of the things I was going to suggest, and if you were a student of mine like Matthew, I would suggest to you that you do the same meditation for a month, uh, just to till it becomes more habitual to you, and particularly so that the words become your words. Linnell does that as a cue in her yoga classes. Let these words be your words. Uh, so the more that we begin to repeat those sort of simple mantras, and I want you to realize the difference in quality of what I said, because I was very careful to pick things that weren't affirmations. This is not like Stuart Smalley, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and gosh darn it, people just like me. Okay. These are along the lines of aspirations. Okay. They're an invitation to begin to tune in. So if you consider your mind like a radio tuner, and you've got KDAQ and classical music and world music out there. You've got hardcore rock and heavy metal. You've got country. It's all being broadcast. And you can choose what you choose to tune into. What we're doing in meditation is gaining the capacity to find this frequency, this life affirming frequency that's there, and to hold that signal. So just like a tuner, it drifts and it gets slightly off, and you adjust the knob. If any of you still have radios, probably got a whole generation doesn't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But you can fine tune and dial it in. So what you're doing by anchoring, by holding a particular meditation, is you're staying tuned into a certain quality of energy. Like this is really inviting you to stay rooted in your lower body. Now, why do we encourage that? The first thing my teacher said is be aware of your feet all day long. Where are your feet? If you're aware of your feet, you're in the present moment. And if you're aware of your feet, another interesting thing is going to happen. Your head isn't just floating around all day long, drifting into the future, drifting into the past, drifting off and causing trouble for you. It really does root you and anchor you. So this rooting meditation is a fundamental meditation. We think it's all about altered states of content. No, the miracle is to feel your feet on the earth. Okay? If you can't do that, you don't have anything. Doesn't matter how many years you've meditated if you can't be present. Because this is where life happens. It happens in this moment. And that's why your body is so fundamental to your meditation. That's why we're doing this whole series. You can't meditate in a disembodied state. Being anchored in your body, fully present in your body, is where these other things unfold from. Okay? So this is fundamental stuff. And it's missed in the West. We get all caught up in lights and visualizations and things of that nature, but that's not going to help you.
And speaking to that, Woody, it might be possible, because I know Matthew can edit the videos, is that it would be fun to pull out of the video just the meditation, and then you could listen to it daily, that guided meditation that Bart took us through. So that might be a
Yeah,
fun.
at some point when
Fun.
yoga bar,
Found it in the video, just go to those minutes again. So Matthew doesn't have to edit anything.
Ah,
okay,
I mean, once you play the video and you start the meditation, you just mark, oh, that's a minute 30. Then you just go to that point in the video or something.
Less work for Matthew.
Matthew's barely, no more homework for Matthew.
good boundaries, Matthew. Excellent work on
Exactly.
those
It's not the
boundaries.
same thing, Sherry.
so didn't the band do a song take a load off Matthew?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Hey,
Hey,
Bentley.
Bentley, how's Spain?
Oh.
She's in Spain.
Very cold, but good.
Very cold, but good. It's very cold, but good here too. See,
Mm.
times I went to Malaga in my 20s, got like alternative surgery for a tumor I had in my, I've
Mm.
done like a small tumor.
wow.
Mm.
She's in Menorca. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, anybody else?
I have a question.
Please.
Based on what you just said about doing the same meditation over and over and over again, is there a reason why we don't do that as a group?
Because this is, okay, if you had tuned in earlier in our explorations, we would do what we're going to be doing at our silent retreat. Because the meditation that is our go-to meditation is silent meditation, simple sitting. And I was just reading a Zen manual by Dogen called Cooking Your Life. I thought that would have some appeal to some of us. And it again says that the essence is learning to simply be present in the present moment with no crutch. So if you think of meditations as the raft that get us to the shore that we were just starting to taste in this meditation, once you get to the shore, you don't need the raft. The focus on the framework begins to fall away. And then you practice what Brother Lawrence called practicing the presence of God. I'm simply present to the present. That's just the most simple, most fundamental one. And that's why mindfulness meditation is what I teach at the core, basically because you can meditate all day long. Once you're in this awareness, I don't have to shift to a different awareness to go to work, and a different awareness when I'm with my kids, and a different awareness when I'm watching TV. It's all the same awareness. And what my discipline teaches me is it's like a lane drift signal in your car, is that when I start to drift, bam, I pull myself back into the present when I start to struggle. So that's why struggling and suffering is your friend, because it's the signal saying you've just lost touch. Okay. So the response, no matter whether the suffering is a physical ailment or it's an emotional distress or it's a problem I'm trying to resolve, clenching against it never makes it better. And opening to it never makes it worse. Fundamental law of spirituality. Fundamental law.
And also to your question, Tiffany, is that I have always sort of thought of this time together as a course.
Right. It is.
So there is a bit of guidance that has been taking place in meditations.
Because we're starting. And to give you a sense of what different rafts are out there.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Thank
like
you.
some will say, God, I really love that mount meditation. That really was powerful.
Remember that?
Which
Whoa.
Tommy did, and so you'll
The
find,
lake, yeah.
the lake. So you'll find different meditations that really resonate with you. And it's nice to have a kind of an assortment after a while, so that when you've got a lot of things going on in your head and you can't be still, then I'm going to sit, instead of trying to be calm, I'm going to let go of that, since that's not happening today, just like walking outside and it's raining, so I'm obviously not going on a picnic. Then I have to shift gears. Then I go into a meditation on watching this stuff emerge, watch how it creeps itself in creation, create space for it, and let it dissipate. So it just gives you different tools for whatever's going on the cushion.
I found,
I love your questions, everybody, just so you know.
what you just said about opening to it doesn't make it worse, or is it, or I forget now exactly what you said, because I was
Closing always makes it worse. Opening never makes it worse.
is when my chronic pain goes from chronic to acute. When I resist the pain, it makes it worse, because like if my hip is really hurting and I resist the pain, the next thing I know, my low back and my knee is bothering me, because I've got them all tightened up to resist the pain in my hip. Whereas if I just open to the pain in my hip, somehow it just seems to warm that joint and I become more at ease.
Yep.
What you got, Tommy? No?
Fine tuning. You all got any questions? Got any answers?
Definitely
No.
not.
Okay. Oh, look at how wise they are. No answers.
None whatsoever.
Okay, so you see how this has been building. Again, for the people who are new, we started with everything out there is pure energy. I just started another book. And now, instead of reading 5 books, I'm writing 5 books. And this one was, in the beginning, was energy without form. And then we began seeing how our primary experience of that, and to me, that's God. God is that energy, no face, no form. We begin to know it first as sensation in our bodies. That's our primary experience of the reality of life. So we opened to that. Then we began to see another level of energy, which the wisdom literature calls prana, comes in with the breath. So I take in another area of energy, begin to connect with it not only through the senses, but through the breath. So I begin to anchor more in the body. Then I become aware of the energies of thought, because my body starts preferring certain sensations and avoiding other sensations. So I begin to not let energy pass through and I start adding energy that's not there in reality, thoughts that aren't going on right now, resistances and griefs from the past, bring them in. Now I've got a war of energy, so we became a war of where are the energies. Now we're softening, we're beginning to let them go. To let go of the armory, let that flow of energy go through us again. Okay. Now we begin to realize that that energy is not totally neutral, that it carries information with it, and the information that it carries is peace, joy, connection, sense of place, sense of ease, all the things we're hungry for because we started out connected to it, like connected to our mothers. Everything was given to us. It was easy. Then we flipped out. We separated unconsciously by hardening against the world. And now we're landing back in the ocean and going, the struggling to keep separate, the struggling to hang on, to understand, to do, to create is exhausting. I'm now going to go back and merge once again into the source. And I think that may be what we're going to do next week. I will let you know. And if we do, I would like to take the whole hour to do the meditation. I've threatened to do this for a while and to be guided by Adi Ashanti on blending back in and becoming one with awareness itself. And he does an excellent job of doing that. So that would be fun. If y'all are up for something like that, you up for taking a plunge? Okay, good. Julie on board, but she's on board with everything. Okay, got a few more.
Yes.
Okay.
Nods,
So we'll do
hands,
that.
thumbs up. Yes.
Yeah, this is one where you're probably going to want to lay in Shavasana on your mat.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
How many of you got your invitations to the meditation, the
I didn't send out
silent
to my
retreat? Okay.
list.
Those on Linnell's list will be getting it soon.
Sandy had asked about it and I gave her briefly. So the meditation retreat, the Zen retreat is in March.
4 days. It's going to be the 10th through the 13th. And as I said, I tried to make it as inviting as possible. You go, oh, I couldn't sit for 2 whole days. You don't sit for 2 days. You sit for 25 minutes, then you walk for 10 minutes, then you sit for 25 minutes, then you go to the bathroom, have a cup of tea, it's called a tea break, then you come back, sit for 25,
Teaching,
have
take
a
a
teaching.
lunch break.
No, it'll be another set of 25, 10, 25, but they might throw in teaching. We've got a sensei from Father Kennedy's school coming down to do the Dharma talks. Linnell's going to be doing yoga in the afternoons to unkink people. We'll also have chanting. Rachel, who does the chanting for us occasionally, is coming down to chant. So far, Matthew has indicated an interest, possibly Andy.
So this is this is
It-
Bay St.
Bay
Louis,
St. Louis.
Mississippi.
Can
Not
you send me the information, Linnell?
Yeah,
Yes.
you'll get it. We'll send it to
I will
everybody.
send
You
it to
Oh,
can-
you.
okay.
I'll send it to you
sure you
today.
approve.
Bart's done a nice little sort of summary write-up as to what you could expect. And I don't remember what the cost was.
The cost is $400, which includes room,
Includes
board,
food and room.
and
and
the
the
program.
program.
So,
All you have to do is get there.
and this is where we met 13 years ago.
We're returning to the scene of the crime.
She was going to her first retreat, and
God, Linnell, that was my same exact thought that came to me at the same time.
Yes, we
Sorry,
made.
I will be drowning and trying to get an hour and a half of sleep a day in March, but maybe another one.
Okay. Okay, so
there
I'll
will
send
be
that.
more. So, Omi, let's go.
All right, 3 rounds of Om. You
Hit
can
it.
unmute.
I think Channy had something to say. She had her hand up, digital hand up for a while.
Great, thank you.
I did-
Thank you,
where-
Bentley.
Thank
Channy.
you. I just wanted to highlight Bart's reference to the toolbox. and also to Tiffany. Longtime meditators have pretty deep toolboxes so that you can have a meditation that is a guided meditation that helps you release, that helps you open, that helps you develop more compassion. There are in the toolbox can be chanting meditations, yoga meditations. There are many. I mean, I wish I had a file to put them all in and organize them, categorize them. How do I feel today? Oh, I think I'm feeling like I need a little more, peaceful calming. And then I flip to that folder and pull it out. But it is really good to remember all these different kinds of meditations in your toolbox. And when I was training as a meditation teacher, one of the things that I was told we should really encourage people to do is to learn to meditate without anything, without any talking, without any guidance. Because if meditation is going to be something that you can always come to, that can be a part of you, you need to be able to do it anywhere. You need to be able to be sitting out in a field, in a forest, on an airplane, where you don't have Wi-Fi, where you can't hear somebody's voice or something to chant with. If you can hear that on your own and do it on your own, that's really a good thing to develop.
Amen. And that's why you see Warrior, same guy who developed Zen Buddhism, Bodhidharma, also developed Kung Fu and the Shaolin School of Monks. So this is a form that you do when someone's trying to hack you to pieces with a sword. Here's how you stay present and open. And that's the only edge you've got, is the half second that's gained by not being in your head and being able to see what's going on right now and respond appropriately. So if it works for warriors, I think it will work for raising kids. Maybe not. I'm not sure yet, but maybe. So let's go, Sugar.
Okay. Take a deep breath in.
There you go.
Yeah, but
Fun. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, Dale. Dale, did
Yes.
you get the Giovanni poem that I sent you?
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
love you.
Love you more.
Bye, Jerry.
Bye. And once again, Tiffany, keep your own weather.
What?
Once again, Tiffany, keep your weather. She left. I don't
Yeah.
want it.
You don't want it? Yeah, well, you can tell Tommy too. Tommy's sending her.
Tommy, you guys keep your weather, okay?
We don't want
20 degrees doesn't work for me.
hey, it's life, Jerry.
It is.
Yeah,
Hey, Andy.
there's yang as well as yin.
Here, buddy. See you Tuesday.
Tuesday. Thank you. It was good.
Good, good.